I've always had some really good sessions at the very end of the weekend. It's a blast. This was a beautiful session, and this footage is just amazing. And this is actually one of those GT500s. The owner of this car said that his is running at 800 horsepower. The car in front of me is a 992 GT3, so that's a very good rabbit to chase.
Welcome back to It's Track Time.
Edge Addicts, December 15th, final session of the weekend. This is the white group, the very advanced group. There's only a handful of cars left in this final session. I want to give a plug for this because the final session of the weekend, a lot of people avoid it, but this is one of the best sessions of the weekend. You have very few cars on the track. Most of them are pretty competent drivers by this point. Everyone that's wrecked or had mechanicals or had other issues, they're all packed up and gone. So it's usually a real good group of drivers. A lot of people get fatigued throughout the weekend. You've gotten up early for 2 days in a row and you've run on the track. On this particular weekend, we didn't get a lot of sessions because of the rain and the wreck. So everyone's pretty fresh other than the fact that they had to get up early. And so it's a good group to run with. I've always had some really good sessions at the very end of the weekend. It's a blast. Some of the times I've been out there, you run, and after the initial sorting out of the cars, when you get released, you don't see anyone for like 5 laps. A couple times I kind of wondered if I missed a flag and everyone else left because there was just nothing going on out there. The flags were... No one was showing any flags, and I didn't see any cars for, like I said, like 5 or 6 laps. So it can be amazing. It's almost like a private session on an F1 track, which you don't see that often. The storm finally broke up. You can see we got some blue sky over us now. The storm's off to our west. Still have some standing water on the track. You got to watch out for that. We've got a dry line that we've been working with. You can see the standing water there on the back straight. So you got to, stay on the dry line. You don't want to get out there in that water. There's been enough accidents this weekend that we don't need any more at this point. You want to get your car home at this point and get it in the trailer safely and have a successful weekend. I got this 991 GT3 behind me, and he's not in any big rush to push ahead, so we're just kind of warming up together here. You can see the sky and the low sun angle is just beautiful. The low sun angle can be a problem at the end of the day when you come down through turn 15 in that area. The sun can be in your eyes, so you gotta pay attention to that. Just like the morning sessions, you got the sun off to the east, it can get in your eyes. So, but this was a beautiful session, and this footage is just amazing. We're coming around the carousel here. This is where that McLaren bounced off the wall the day before. I think most of the accidents happened on Saturday. I don't remember that many accidents happening on Sunday, so I think this has been a pretty carnage-free day. We didn't get to run that much. You can see all the standing water there on that small short straight there. Okay, so now we've kind of warmed up. We're onto the front straight there. We got a 991 GT3 RS that just gave us a point by. He's still chilling, getting warmed up, so he's not in any big rush to get going here. Now that we've got some heat in the system, we're going to go ahead and crank it up a little bit here and turn a little bit of a faster lap. You can see the 991 GT3 is still hanging with me there. I think as we get into the S's here, he's going to start peeling away. So now I'm really paying more attention to that car in front of me to see what it is. And this is actually one of those GT500s. So this is a 2020 GT500 Mustang. I think it has like a 5.4 liter supercharged engine. At the time, it was one of the most powerful American cars built. I think it was in the high 700s, and I believe the owner of this car said that his is running at 800 horsepower. So that's a phenomenal amount of power for a little car like that. The problem with it is because it's an American car, it's built with pretty simple materials, and so this thing weighs like 4,100 pounds. So this car is 900 pounds heavier than my car, which is phenomenal. There you go. There's the yellow flag. So we didn't get through one session without a yellow flag or a black flag. So even the last session had one. You can see that there's this open wheel car that had a mechanical, so he's off to the side. Now that we've got past him, you can see the Mustang opened up its throttle, and now he's hauling ass. I don't know what kind of speed. I think I read that these things were limited to 180 miles an hour. With that much power, you should be able to get to like 170 with a car like that. But he's obviously not getting up to that kind of speed. Now we get into the technical section here, and you got a 4,100 pound car. You're moving around a lot of weight, so you can't use that power at all. And so I can get up on top of him pretty easily here. 900 pounds, that's a phenomenal amount of weight, the difference between my car and that car. Okay, there he gave me the point by, so I'm going to go ahead and slide around him here. Got to be real careful in the carousel. You don't want to slide off and collect him and take both of you out. So I always kind of do that real timid-like to get around the guy and then open the car back up. So now here we come around turn 19. I straddle that, and you can see all the standing water there. That's another thing with COTA, is the track's big enough, it covers enough ground that it could be raining on one side of the track and dry on the other side. So you can see this is the area that got the rain in the last part of the storm, and the other side of the track was actually pretty dry. So now we're going to crank it up another notch here. So now we've got some temperature. That last lap time was a 2:29, I believe, so not a great time. I had a 2:24 after that, and now we're going to see if we can get one of my better laps of this track weekend. There wasn't many laps to work with, so I'm trying to work hard to maintain my speed through the S's. I want to come in to 3 at full speed, brake a little bit at 4, and then maintain the speed through all of these turns. Ted, the pro that set down my reference lap time, he was absolutely hauling through that section, and I've yet to come close to him on that. I'm getting close to his times on this part of the track here. I think I'm only a mile an hour or 2 off of these 2 turns. And on the back straight, obviously I can get a similar speed to him, but through the S's, he's still quite a few miles an hour faster than me, so I'm slowly eating into that. Okay, so now here we come down the back straight. You can see the storm still off to the south and to the west. I think we're going to get hit by it again. The car in front of me is a 992 GT3, so that's a very good rabbit to chase. But it's always good at the end when you have just open track, it gets kind of monotonous because you don't see anything. I always like to have one car that's kind of setting the pace for me, and I can chase him, and that's exactly what this guy's doing. He's got a very good pace, and I can try to see where I can close him down. These cars have a much better front end than my car. I have McPherson struts. This one's got a double wishbone front end on it, so those are phenomenal cars for these low-speed turns and feeling the grip. Same engine as the engine I have, so he's not going to be any faster than me on any of these sections. I've got more drag because I've got this big aero kit on my car now, and his car is much cleaner. He looks like he's not going to straddle 19, so I'm going to straddle it here and then try to get up on top of him here at turn 20. You can see all the water there and the dry line. He would come around turn 20, and let's see if we get a decent time here. So we got a 2:22, so that's a decent time. I think the best I've gotten with this setup is about a 2:21, so that's a good time. Here we come up on top of him. We're getting real close to him now, and he's a real pro. He definitely saw me. He's got a paper plate, so that must be a new car to him. He gives me the point by, so I kind of come around him on turn 2, which is a great place to get a point by. Now you can come in through the S's with speed. And I think after I got past him, you can see I have a deficit there on the Garmin. And now I'm taking these mid-turns faster. And now I just cracked over the top of it there. And now I've got a little bit of a gain here. So I'm definitely taking these mid-turns faster and working up to closer to what Ted had. Now I come up over the top of 9. That's where all those rocks were the other day. And I'm coming right down through 10. I'm getting a decent speed here on this small straight, and there's the checker flag. So that's the end of the 2024 season for me. I didn't crack 220. I didn't get out into the 19s. Hopefully in 2025, all of us GT4 RS owners will be cracking into the 219s. I know all of my friends that have these cars are all trying to get lower than a 220, and hopefully with all of the added pieces that I put on this car and with the reference laps that I've got, my goal is to get below a 220. I want to get into the 219s in the next track session. So we'll see you guys out at the track next time, and hopefully everyone will be breaking 220 in 2025.